Fire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so that of course means we're playing Remnant Shadow, our Star Wars actual play. I'll be your GM for the evening, Jason, and with me will be Duba playing Doc, Rappy playing Keltzer, Eric playing Captain I. Dang it, I thought I had it this time and I blinked. Irie.
You had it. You had
Iria.
it.
Iria. I've got a pronunciation key written somewhere. We'll have to just sticky note it up here.
Sticky note it. You had it, and then you got in your head about it.
Yep. Sarah playing Io. And Jeremy playing Ozen. Anybody happen to remember where we were last week?
Yeah, Ozen almost
Stuck in
died.
a room.
I still almost die.
Yep, you were in a little room full of miners and mining equipment.
No, they all looked over 18.
Ooh.
Wow.
Somebody had to make this joke, and I'm disappointed we didn't make it last time.
I never actually specified that, but okay.
The children can't crave the mines.
Look, you don't know if there's any child labor laws in the Empire.
There isn't.
I'm gonna have to go.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure they're not.
I mean, the Empire's gone, but this is a corporate sector, so it's just the businesses running things, so, you know.
It's even worse.
If we send the children to the mines, we don't have to make the mines as big. We can do 4-foot tunnels, it'll be fine. Alright, so yes, y'all were trapped in the, well, trapped is a strong word. You were catching your breath in a, I can't remember if it was a refinery room or what it was, but a room full of equipment just inside the actual mine part of this facility. You had found some of the surviving miners there. You had run into, of course, 3 of these, pretty decent sized creatures. They put up something of a fight. You heard more coming, so you ducked into this room. And let's see, I think the miners had told you kind of how they'd wound up there. And we left off with you hearing a bunch of the creatures sniffing around the door. And the head of the mine basically going, if we're quiet, they usually wander off. Of course, last time they did that, they sent somebody out to try to make contact with the outside, and I think that was the first body you found.
Yeah.
Yep. But we are all here and accounted for, so it counts for something.
Yes. Yes, you have not lost anybody yet.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, there was some.
Is that the real reason you're keeping track of how much experience you're giving us?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
When you kill one of us, you can just.
You have this much experience. Go nuts.
I'm not planning to kill one of you, but it could happen. Unfamiliar system, weaponry going off, it could happen. Alright, so you are in this room with these people.
Yep. Ozen really asked the question she wanted to ask. She's just, keeping her bits in at this point, and, just kind of sitting back, just actually able to take a breath.
Alright.
Do the
Hang on a second, it's the wrong stack of notes.
creatures eventually leave? Or at least become less loud?
Just one second. Okay. I had the wrong notepad. It was a list of alien names, but it was the wrong alien names.
Yep.
That would probably be why I couldn't find my pronunciation keys as well. Alright. They calm down some, and you don't think you hear as many of them over there. Are you still using that enhanced senses thing that you were using last time?
It's probably gone at this point. But she can just roll a mundane search roll. That's
Okay.
I'm still wounded, so that's ice removed. $22.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
So every now and then you go and you listen to the door. And you notice, because y'all are moving around. Some of you are probably pacing. Maybe you're talking to a few of the miners here and there. So you walk to the door and you listen a couple times, not necessarily in the same exact spot, but every time you put your ear to the door, you'll start hearing kind of sniffing and a little bit of scratching. But it seems the noise always seems to be just on the exact opposite side from you.
After like maybe 3 times of doing this, because twice is a coincidence, 3 times a pattern. Ozin will scurry up towards the rest of the party, who I assume is like congregated somewhere, and kind of whisper to them and be like, "There's one outside. Knows exactly where."
Oh, you went silent in that last part.
Just like informing the party of the situation, but very quietly, as evidenced by the fact that my mic couldn't pick it up.
Stage whisper. Stage whisper.
Alright, then I'll stage whisper and say, they seem to know where we are, regardless of where I place my ear. Listening.
Could just have exceptional
Exceptional what?
senses.
Well, they're probably
Open-
pack hunters.
Opening the door, not immediately firing at whatever pops in is probably not a great idea.
Probably.
Know if we have enough firepower to take out more than one of them. Did I get a beat on like how many it sounded like were in the general area?
Could have been as many as 10. You're not 100% sure. You wouldn't think any more than that.
Yeah. There are a lot of them out there.
Yeah, like I said, you don't think you're hearing as many of them right outside the door as you did at first.
Mm.
They're
But I'm
not,
still hearing quite a few of them.
they're not cackling and carrying on quite as much as they were.
They're also, I can still pick them up from back where they were, or further back. Like I'm hearing different volumes of different creatures.
Before this what I was talking about was what you were hearing before you walked in here and shut the door.
Gotcha.
This is a thick door, so
So I'm only hearing the one that's like clawing at the door.
Right.
Okay, that's different.
And just every now and then you'll hear one of those little kind of hyena type laughs that they do.
Well, before we dispatched of the ones that were by the door, guessed there are maybe 10 total.
Kelser, you still have that grenade, right?
Yeah.
How fast do those doors open and close?
The blast doors, they pop open pretty quick.
They close just as fast?
They do.
Oh, great.
You might not get all of them. Or you'll bring down part of the cave and really trap us in here.
Yeah.
Nothing load bearing.
I want to know what they eat. Aside from, people, what else is there to eat on a, mining asteroid?
I'm
Not
sure
sure.
they have other purposes.
Yeah, the director Dunn, or Doan, the head of the facility. Yeah, we've been wondering that ourselves because they, I mean, you've got critters out there that feed on materials. I mean, my Nox. Well, they feed on energy probably, but but these things look normal, biological or carbon based, I should say. Like something that pop up on any life bearing world. But
And we're certain that it wasn't here before. Or as far as
No.
according to what we've talked to so far.
She's
In
like,
other
oh
words,
no,
we've
no.
talked to people about it.
I mean, I've been in charge of this facility for a year and a half or so. Worked here another year before that.
Never did anything like this.
Mm-mm. Now this particular shaft we really only started up recently.
Possibly you disturbed a hive of some sort.
Well, like they told they had told you that they found this wall basically, like something was buried in the asteroid.
Gotcha.
They hadn't run across any other structures to this thing. With this particular section was digging specifically kind of towards the core of the asteroid.
Something stuck in the core and decided to pop out.
Yeah, but it was something artificial. I mean, those things are nasty, but not to the point that you trap one in an asteroid. I mean, that's just overkill.
How big are these blast? Like, how wide are these blast doors? Rather, I should ask.
A foot or so thick.
Okay. This is me talking to the party again. It's like, I could make a. Man, she wouldn't call it a parapet. Something equivalent in the Star Wars. It's just like a little area that you can just open up with the blast door and just stick a gun out there and pray.
Spray and pray.
It could work. It would render the blast door useless after that for gaseous sealant.
Yeah. I'm just coming up with ideas.
The director's like, hey, whatever you can do to get us out of here. I don't, as little damage as possible is nice, but the facility itself is of secondary importance. I need to get my people out of here.
Say, at some point, your lives are the primary concern.
Yeah, the company can send in exterminators or whatever to, animal control agents or whatever to deal with these things later.
I think that's us.
We were just here to deliver stuff, not
And
eliminate dogs.
And yet,
you're very heavily armed to deliver people, though.
Thank the stars for that, I guess.
Clearly haven't been outside of this section of the corporate sector.
And I'm usually delivering into hot zones.
Are there
So
any
this-
other? Go ahead.
Good. No, this is gonna be me acting. So go ahead and do all the prep you can do before I start this.
Are there any other doors that we could trap it behind, or is like this the only mechanical door?
No, there's a couple of other blast doors, sections of hallway that you can seal off.
Can they be accessed from anything in this room?
No, not from in this room.
Recollapsing against the wall. Carry on.
Where would you need to go?
She's like
Yes,
the control
Pete.
center. The control center would work. My office would work.
And those are.
One of the areas is where y'all left the droid, up close to the cargo bay, or hangar bay, I should say. You had, I want to say, you had passed her office, some of the offices in the hallway,
Yeah.
Okay.
and hers, the way she describes it, hers was one of those.
Right.
Do any of those have doors strong enough to keep the dogs out?
She thinks so.
It's last words.
Oh well, the control center for sure. It had a blast door down when y'all showed up. As far as just but like the offices just have the normal interior doors, which, as far as she knows, they haven't managed to tear anything like that up. But
And somebody here has keycard access to the control room.
she's like, well, yes, of course I do. Well, yeah, she does. The guy they sent out there, whose body you
And
found,
that sent it. Yes.
yeah, he had a key too.
Didn't we already pop that door open though?
We
Yeah,
popped
y'all
it
been-
open, but
y'all been in
also
there and
it's
talked to
smart to
droid.
close it.
No.
All right. So I'm gonna ruin this blast door. Is there anything in here that's mission critical that you need to get out?
No,
She also goes, as far as your survival goes, not as far as making a profit.
no, there's nothing. I mean, this was just mining equipment in here. I mean, it's nothing.
Okay.
I don't want to say it's
She will-
cheap, but it's not anything irreplaceable.
Then she will get her metal tube. Point it there first. Or what she'll do is she'll get up to put her ear up first. And
They're scratching.
here, yep. And then put the lightsaber up and
Fun way to potentially kill off a dog.
The blast door very quickly starts to heat up around where you stuck the blade in.
I've moved my face as that happens, knowing that happens.
It's not going to be like instantaneous, so.
No.
We have film of a lightsaber into a blast door, so
Yeah.
we know it takes a little time. Not a whole lot of time, but some.
Mm-hmm.
This has gotten the attention of several of the miners. You see them kind of. Well, Ozen's busy. Everybody else might see the miners leaning in towards each other and talking.
Hear it. She's not paying attention right now.
Is there a problem?
The miners, all just go straight up. Oh, no, and one of them's like, "No, man, just you don't see that every day." I mean, right tool for the job, I guess.
Eventually, she gets it. Does it? If I do this completely, there's a hole. Is there a dead dog right there? That
No.
fucked around and found out. Damn.
It takes a little while for the blade to force its way all the way through that.
Sure. It's just like a very thick piece of butter.
But you hear some of that yapping, laughing, basically on the other side.
I want to get it about head sized or like human head sized, so that it's big enough for someone to aim a gun through, but not big enough for one of these guys to jump through.
So you cut your little section out.
Mhm.
You know, as soon as you pull the blade back, one of the animals gets up in there, and you hear a slight sizzle noise. It gets a little too close to the hot metal, and yipes back, and continues.
Yep.
It's not like I said. It's a laugh, not a bark exactly, but basically barking at you.
Now you could throw a grenade if you wanted. It's probably not a great idea still because, mine. But you could.
BL,
Sir,
fish in a barrel, have fun.
thank you, sir. He steps forward and starts trying to fire the repeat blaster through there.
Rule number 1.
Don't worry about that right at this moment,
Okay.
because there's no way for them to retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to take. He can't take his time, so.
Okay.
This is effectively taking 20.
Wrong system, but yes, effectively.
Yes.
So yeah, he's sitting there and he's shooting and he's shooting and he's shooting.
Alrighty.
Eventually, he tells you, "I'm out of targets, sir. I think I got 4 of them, but before more of them kind of pulled back."
Fair enough.
But I will maintain Overwatch, and he's basically still aiming down his barrel through the hole, just waiting for anything to pop up.
Mm-hmm. Continue to do that.
All right. Does everyone have everything they need?
All the miners are up. Yeah, they didn't manage to get in here very much in the way of supplies, so.
Right.
So they're picking themselves up. They're getting some of the injured guys up. Though Doc has done a pretty good job of patching people up.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you hear chirping coming from the other side of the door. And BL, sir, there's a droid on the other side. Should I engage?
What does the droid want?
He starts beeping and cheeping at you.
Mm-hmm.
The director of the facilities, it's like, "Oh, I think that's 8T." And she gets up at the hole and she starts talking to him. Asks where he's been, where Sven is.
That wasn't the name of the dead guy, right?
No.
Okay.
And you see her just kind of hang her head. Okay, this is one of our droids, and it's a small, like, little 2-legged droid. She goes, it's kind of an assistant droid, an analyzer. It specializes in analyzing materials. You can carry it down into the mine. If there's any kind of odd gas or anything, it'll pick it up and warn you. It can, you feed it small samples, it'll kind of tell you what the material of the rock is. The men that went down the last time, we fetched 2 of their bodies, but one of them was missing. Sven that you heard me asking about. We also did not find the droid until now. He says Sven is still alive, but injured back further in the tunnels.
Okay.
Hang on a second. And she kind of reaches out and slowly kind of pats the hole. Okay, making sure it had cooled off. And she reaches through and pulls the droid through the hole.
Oh, he's like the size of a barn owl. Got it.
Oh yeah. He's a little guy. If if you've seen or played
Jedi
Fallen
Fallen
Order, something about
Yeah,
that size.
yep.
You know, not the same
Yep.
model, but something about that size.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's exactly where my mind went to.
But it starts talking to her. She asks where he's at, and it pops up a little hologram display of him, like, up a little ways in a wall and, like, in a crevice. It's like a sort of natural shelf. Well, maybe not natural, but where they cleared the tunnel out, and that just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it structurally sound over there?
It's kind of what you get out of him.
As structurally sound as a mine can get.
Yes.
Okay.
With a mine, with an asteroid mine, you're not dealing with the same amount of gravity and stuff as you are on a planet, so it should be fairly stable, as long as you're not detonating high ordnance or something. But the director asks, what happened. The hologram changes, and you get this view like over somebody's shoulder. And you see the three men are having a discussion. One of them is not sure that this is a good idea, whatever this is. The other two you see are planting explosives on that wall they found.
Oh boy.
Not like massive, cause a cave in, but they're trying to basically jury rig like a breaching charge.
Yep.
And they're talking about,
I know how this ends.
they're talking about like, scavenger rights and stuff like that, the company doesn't own the asteroid exactly, so, if they find something neat in here, they just want to be the first ones in, so they have, kind of dibs.
Yeah.
And it goes about like you'd expect. They back up, they detonate it. Sure enough, it blows a nice sized crack in the wall. They kind of single file in.
Is this audio or is this just like the hologram?
This is the hologram. There is audio with it. Yeah, you're hearing him talk.
Okay. About when they get into there, I was like, I would mute that.
Do it now.
Just see, like as they walk in, as they walk in the hologram, Ozan goes, I would mute that.
The director's like, She kind of leans forward to the door. Turn the volume down. So he turns it down enough that not everybody further back in the room can hear it. But they walk in. You hear the droid through the recording give a beep, and the guys put on little respirator masks. And it's almost like a mist in the room. But and at first there's no light, and then the lights kind of come on. And you see these animals, laid down like they were just sleeping on the floor. Some of them were up against each other, that sort of thing. There's lots of equipment on the walls that you can't really identify.
Equipment was already there.
Right, it's not mining equipment. It's something else, something built into the walls of this thing.
Okay, something else.
IO, you haven't really seen anything quite like it. Though it's, harder to tell through a hologram than it would be if you were looking at it in person. But there are banks of like lights and displays. And they're going through patterns. Stuff's changing. Like I said, the lights come on. The guys start talking about, we need to get out of here. And about the time one of them says that, the animals start waking up. And then, the first one that stands up, the guys turn around and it's a mad dash out of the room. You don't see what happens to the other two. Sven gets separated. He is not the one carrying the droid, though. That one is running along, and you just see him kind of face plant. You can hear the sounds of what's happening, though, as the droid gets up and runs off.
And that's why we lowered it.
The animals don't seem to bother the droid any. Though from the sounds of it, they were occupied. And there's some more footage of it roaming around the hallways until it runs into Sven. He is up on that little shelf thing I kind of described. There's a couple of the animals down below him. You can see that he's taking a bite or a claw or something to the leg, because he's up there, like tying it off. When he notices the droid, he's telling the droid to, go get help. And you've got some footage of it slowly walking around. Anytime it sees the animals, it goes still, and they just ignore it. One maybe comes up and sniffs it at some point, but
Its vision
Not flesh.
is based on movement.
It's not flesh. It's fine. That's kind of what the gist is.
But in its wandering around, it comes back to the room, and it actually kind of ducks back into the room and looks around. The room's empty at this point. And it does like a quick circuit around the room. And then it chirps at the director there, like, yes, that was a good call. Yes, I did want to see what was in there. And she literally pats it like it's a pet. Ozen, something about the inside of that room seems familiar to you.
Ooh.
And it takes you a minute to place it. But one of the first trips you took with your master, this has been, I don't know how long you were traveling with her before Order 66.
He was one of those taken, as a youth. So.
Well, yes, but the actual younglings, spend some time at the temple in mass.
Yeah. She was old enough to go on excursions.
Mm-hmm.
About late teens, probably.
Oh, we got a follow.
Hey.
From Echo Oregon? I think that's Oregon. Yeah, Echo Oregon.
I want to say Order 66 was about 25, 30 years before Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
And Ozen's how old now?
Ozen is pretty old. Kind of
Well,
adjusted.
Luke was what, 20? Would have been 20, 21, 22 at Yavin?
I want to say probably, yeah. I mean, he'd be however long it was from Order 66 to Yavin.
He'd have been born like a day or two later tops. So
yeah. That's kind of what I've been using as my baseline, because Ozen's like in her mid to late 50s.
Skywalker was 19 years before Battle of Yavin, I think.
Okay. So anyway, you'd have had some time travel with her. But one of the first trips you took was to the Carillion system. You visited a spot called Centerpoint Station.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ancient system, space station. They believe it was used to construct the Carillion system. The system has several planets that were pulled from other systems. And while people live on the station, nobody's ever quite figured out, quite managed to like reverse engineer it. It was believed to have been built by a group of a race that predates the others. In common folklore, they tend to refer to them either as the Architects or the Celestials. But
those and asteroids.
But just something about the displays and stuff. It just it makes you think of Centerpoint
Flashes
Station.
of memory.
Yeah.
Is it something that if Ozen gets there, she kind of gets a theoretical sense of how machines would work?
Nothing like that happened when you were at Centerpoint.
Okay.
Now, does Ozen point this out to anybody?
Jeremy's brain has to process it first. I would say she would start to, and then she's kind of doing it slowly as if she's piecing it together herself, like very much in the sense of like this happened like 30 to 40 years ago. The details are a little hazy.
Interesting. Always wanted to get my hands on some Corellian tech.
We have to live first, Captain.
Yes, we do.
The director of the facilities like, this is all fascinating. I mean, it really is, but how are we going to get Sven?
I mean, how much do you like Sven? Do we have to get Sven?
Would you leave one of your crewmates behind?
Ozen gives a pointed look at Io or Io.
Io is like bleeding from like orifices and like just not having a good time.
I'm bleeding
She's
internally.
She's like, if it came to it, I think they would understand.
A small group would be better at getting him than a large group.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the miners aren't in any condition to fight, but
Obi, stop it.
Yeah. And then just suddenly, while you're discussing this, there's suddenly a sound of BL sending a blaster bolt through the hole.
Did you get him?
I'm not certain, sir. He just stuck his head around the corner.
Ah, lovely. Keep up the good work.
Are we gonna just wait for him to do that?
Well, the animals have apparently become cautious.
Well, the more he thins out, the less we'll have to deal with. So it's a matter of how long do you want to wait? To eventually the point of, yeah, your camera's doing camera things.
Yeah, it is. I know you're doing that to me Saturday too, or Sunday rather.
Eventually it boils down to how long do you want to wait, and versus considering there is an intelligence to them, to an extent, how long will it be before they stop trying to come through?
Pretty sure they've stopped trying. Every now and again, someone peeking their head is gonna be about as accurate as BL's going to get. Not in any way am I hampering that, but you're gonna get more misses than hits at this point.
Gonna hit a point of diminishing return.
That's it.
That's where I was getting with that. Yes.
The director is also like, we've been here about a day without water, so we can go a little while longer, but it's going to become an issue.
You'll be able to seal the door into the hangar, correct?
Yes, we will. We can drop. There's a couple blast doors we can drop in the hallways. We can seal the hangar itself off as well. Like I said, the control center has a blast door.
Right. Does it control the entire rest of the facility? All the doors, all the systems, everything?
Not like the individual, the individual office doors, the individual quarter doors. Those you can't lock from the control station. I mean, the office doors, it will register whether they're locked or unlocked. For security reasons, but we don't keep that close of tabs on people in the quarters.
Right. Well, Io, do you want to go on an adventure with us or play eyes in the sky, as it were?
Sure, I always figured I would die in a mine. Let's go.
Fair enough. Well, if they're getting cautious, might as well go ahead and get you out of here.
The director's trying to get all the miners
covering
up.
Fires. I can help lead them out, covering fires. She holds up her at this point tube. Not my strongest suit.
Yeah, he pats BL on the shoulder. Fortunately, this bad boy comes with full auto.
Well, more accurately, the gun comes with full auto.
You understood what I meant.
Probably warn R2.
Rabid dogs on the loose.
Well, now that other people will be coming towards the ship area, not to, open fire with the ship.
Fair.
I thought how trigger happy your R2 unit is.
We did tell them to protect the ship.
There's also everything else in there to protect the ship. But as long as they don't go bum rushing the ship, we should be fine. As he looks back at the miners.
Several of them are not in a position to go bum rushing anything. They will be limping towards the ship as best they can.
Very well. He will send out a call to R2, let him know.
He responds to let you know he's got your message. If he sees people showing up in the miner outfits, he'll let him in.
All right. Well, let's play exterminators.
He does tell you he has seen some of those animals you're talking about. Or, well, not that you talked about to him, but that he has spotted some sort of animals roaming around. They don't seem especially interested in the ship.
I guess first things first, we have to actually get you to the ship and not just set you loose on the other side of the door. R2, are there any more out there near the ship right now?
No, he's only seen two venture into the hangar bay at all. And they sniffed around for a while and then wandered back into the hallway.
Interesting.
There might be two in the hallway towards the hangar.
Yay!
All right then, let's get this party started.
Reignite the lightsaber.
I would like to point out for the record, this is in no way, shape, or form a party.
You're gonna go with good idea, but you're also right.
It's definitely not a good idea.
But staying here isn't viable either.
All right, let's go diminishing returns.
All right, how are y'all going out the door?
I would assume guns forward.
Well, yeah, guns forward. So once the door opens, if BL sees any, he'll give the order. If BL sees any, peek their head out to just full auto the repeater in that direction, just to keep the dogs back.
Affirmative, sir.
I'm going to before the blast door opens, since I don't normally get this opportunity to do so. I'm gonna activate calm.
Okay. And what does that one do?
Gives me a +4 to my rolls for the next 2 rounds,
Okay.
and an extra +4 on top of that if there happens to be a dark side power going on
Dang, that
to
right.
resist that.
I was going to activate panic.
Panic, calm, panic.
Hey, I passed. I rolled. I needed an easy difficulty. I got 16, way above it.
So we talk about people's hair standing on end when they get scared. Does a Twi'lek's head tails do that?
She's very twitchy head tails, probably. Because there's not any Twi'leks amongst the miners, are there?
No.
Okay, there's no one there that can understand or just complete, like, panic sign language.
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
crap,
do
oh,
they
crap, oh, crap,
speak
oh, crap,
in
oh,
like
crap.
subtle tentacle movement?
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
interesting.
why
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a
it's
racial.
their actual language. That's why the whole thing with she doesn't wear a lot of headgear because it basically muzzles that form of speech.
Yeah, there's a same thing for the Mirialan, that their facial tattoos are basically every major thing that has happened to them throughout their entire lives. It's basically their life story written out for any other Mirialan to be able to read and see.
But very, very few people outside of the native species can read the tattoos or understand anything about the head tails.
Yep.
Whenever y'all are ready.
Well,
BL's like, I was activated ready.
She's upright and about as ready as she'll be. So
yeah.
Well, now Doc patched you up, didn't he?
yeah, instead of mortal, she's just incapacitated.
See? Piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
Syringe full of adrenaline, you'll be as good as new for a little while.
Just right in the sternum.
Do I have it? Oh, yes, I do. She goes to Io. Io, how well do you trust me?
This feels like a very loaded question.
Yes, it is. Touch your shoulder and activate control another's pain.
All right. I'm assuming that makes a roll. Or...
Yes. Control difficulty is very easy, and then I have an alter difficulty. Ooh, I just
It's very easy
barely
even when
made
they're
that.
it's very easy even when they're incapacitated.
So the control difficulty is to be able to do it. The alter power is where it's different.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So the control difficulty is just being able to do the power, and then alter is to do it on somebody else. So I have to make 2 different rolls.
Okay, I got you.
Because this system wasn't hard enough already. But it is moderate for incapacitated, so we'll see how that goes. Go back to my alter. Cool. Just squeaked by on that. Oh shit! No, I didn't. I hit a 10. I didn't hit a. Nope. The 10, 9, 15. Unfortunate.
Just kind of looks at Ozen like, I have no idea what you were trying to do, but I appreciate the effort.
Ozen just pats you on the shoulder encouragingly.
Do you trust me?
One of these days. And she'll just, get ready to. If someone happens to gets into the outside of the kill zone.
Somebody makes it into melee range.
So you open the blast door. BL goes striding out almost immediately. If you're looking on the map, almost immediately one pokes his head around here. And BL starts shooting.
Yeah.
This time you hear kind of a yip as it jerks its head back.
Let's go. I'll start.
It's either dead or alerting.
Yep. I'll start guiding the civilians and the miners.
BL takes up a position here, at least for the moment. I'm assuming all the rest of you are moving down this way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say, Ozen's mostly gonna be taking charge with the civilians since she can't fire at a distance.
Mm-hmm. Now, is she like out in front of the civilians in case something comes from that direction? Okay.
Yeah, because I figure people taking Overwatch on one side will tell us, "Hey, there's a bunch of them coming."
BL is kind of walking backwards, kind of backing up, following y'all. Maintaining an overwatch on the kind of that rear arc, unless somebody gives him orders to the contrary.
Nah, his order is to maintain overwatch.
Alright, so y'all start backing down the hallway. Let me switch back over to the other one. There we go. Because I don't actually have a map for the hallway. So y'all are retreating back into the facility the way you came. You start hearing one of those laughs up ahead of you.
Okay.
Towards the direction we're going?
Towards the direction you're going.
We were warned about it.
And then you see one of them kind of look around, a bend in the hallway. You're passing by the offices and crew quarters at this point.
Yeah.
So you're in territory, well, this entire hallway, you've walked the length of it, so. You hear some of the miners kind of, oh crap.
We're warned.
But like I said, it looks around, it ducks back, and then it looks back out again. Like it's testing the waters.
Is this gonna be an easy snack or a hard snack?
There's like half a dozen of us plus. Well, probably closer to a dozen. It's not a snack, it's a buffet.
But they have to get through the people who have shooty bits.
Yep.
Danger buffet.
All right. So there's, we'll say 6 of the miners. I forget if I said how many were in the room earlier, but we'll say there's about 6 of them. 6 of y'all, counting BL.
Would be offended if you didn't.
All right. Somebody pick even or odd.
Odd.
Odd it is. All right. As y'all are going down the hallway, like the one at the end of the hallway keeps, sticking its head out. But you suddenly hear a scream as you're passing by one of the office doors. One of the creatures dives out and lands on top of one of the miners. And as soon as he does that, the buddy down the hallway starts sprinting towards you.
All right.
Time
Time for shooting.
Yeehaw it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeehaw it is.
So I want everybody to give me perception. I guess just a straight perception roll.
Okay.
Just to see how surprised you are by this, You're wanting to hit a moderate difficulty, so you're aiming for 15.
I did not make 15.
Straight perception.
Straight perception.
Lovely. I need to roll exceptionally well.
Every single one of us is a surprised Pikachu face.
Got 9.
This is usually Ozen's bag, but it's usually the search roll that's bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got 15 on the dice.
So with Star Wars, can we at least do a surprised or surprised Jar Jar face? Eye stalks up. All right, Doc, what did you get?
You're muted.
Sorry.
You had
What
your
was the
hand
roll
over your
again?
mouth, so I couldn't even tell if you were trying to talk.
Well, I was sitting there, I was just thinking, I was like, oh crap. I know I heard him say it, but my brain's short on what button I need to push for.
Perception.
Perception.
Okay. You got a 7.
Gotta-
Keltzer, what'd you get?
I got a 15 on the die.
All right, Ozen?
I got 12. Double check.
Io?
Yeah, 12.
In the chat, 8.
Oh, that's right. And then Eric, what did you say you got?
I got a 9.
Okay. All right, so... Alright, so Keltzer is not surprised at all. Or not enough for it to factor into anything. Everybody that failed is at a -1 dice penalty just this round. The miners can essentially take no action. They're not used to combat at all, so they're extremely surprised. Alright, so starting at the bottom, the miners do nothing. Doc, what are you doing?
Let's see. So right now our main goal is just to head down this big old room in here to get to the ship.
Yeah, y'all are off the mine map that I had set up. Y'all are in a hallway. But yes, you're headed towards the cargo bay, or I keep calling it a cargo bay.
I mean, the ship's cargo bay.
Yeah, and the ships unload cargo there, so it kind of works. But the hangar bay, you're all headed towards the hangar bay. You know, where the ship is, where y'all ship is.
Then he's just gonna do his best to walk or run that way.
But you have just seen a miner get tackled by one of these animals.
Well, if anything, he'll do his best to assist the miner if he can.
Okay. I'm just picturing you walking up to stiff robot arms. Shoo! Shoo! Get off him!
Bad dog.
I mean, if he's got to bring out the injector and see if he can't do some stun damage, he'll bring out the injector and just give it a little.
All right, so you're going to try to inject him.
So, bad
All right.
puppy. Psst.
Go sleep.
Shh.
Ozen, what are you going to do?
Ozen's going to still get in front of the. Fuck. She's going to get in front of one, like as many of the civilians as she can, and just swing at them with the lightsaber when
Okay.
one of them gets
Okay.
up close.
So are you like stepping in front and intercepting the one that's running towards the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, then. So you step out in front. BL is still a little bit behind you, pulling in rear guard, and you've heard him fire shots every now and then as anytime anything comes into view.
Yeah.
Io, what are you doing?
She's gonna try and take a shot at the one running towards them.
Okay. Captain, what are you doing?
He is going to try to shoot the one on the miner to get it off the miner.
All right. Kilt, sir, what are you doing?
Same thing. Try to get the one off the miner.
All right. And then the critters, the one on the miner is going to maul the miner. And the one running towards the group is going to basically just beeline right into Ozen. And the critters go first. So the one running up to Ozen.
Don't forget you have calm.
Oh yeah.
All right, dexterity. Okay. Are you going to try to, dodge, parry, or whatever you want to call it?
You've gotten squirrely about it. Nice. Yeah, she's gonna try to dodge. Yeah.
All right, you roll melee parry with this one then.
And total. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see, this is a natural weapon, so the difficulty for them is not very high. All right, so that's the 10 you rolled plus 5 is 15. And they rolled a 16.
Cool.
So give me a strength roll.
That's literally the lowest they've rolled, and I still fucking
I don't think it's the lowest
Got-
roll.
whopped.
All right, what'd you get on your strength roll?
Strength roll is 14 total.
Okay. Okay. He beat you, but didn't double or anything.
Okay.
So that gives you a wound.
Already wounded.
Do what now?
Was already wounded.
Okay. Then it is. Oh, right, the one on the minor. Somebody roll me 2 dice for the minor.
I got it. 5 total.
Okay, 5 plus 5 is 10. All right, give me another 2 dice for the minor. This is his strength roll. Okay, that's not 10
6 total.
All right, so a 6 on the strength roll. He got a 19 on his damage roll. So that triples it at least. So yeah, it pounced on him. Mouth on neck. It starts kind of worrying the neck, and you hear a snap.
Ugh.
Almost as soon as the miner goes still, it drops the miner's neck, and is like, growling at the rest of you. So there are now 5 miners. Cap, you're up. It's your turn, Captain.
Oh. For
Wait,
some reason I thought
didn't-
these things were faster than.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kelser.
Yeah, I thought they were faster than Kells.
I
They're going, wait,
apologize.
did I miss something?
I'm like, wait, am I not there? That's
I've-
fine. I'll go disappear into the void.
I've got my pencil pointed at whoever's turn it is, and then I picked it up and wrote something. When I set it back down, it was pointing to the wrong person. I'm sorry. Kelser, you're up. You said you were going to shoot the doggy on the miner.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Okay, what's the difficulty for your weapon? Oh no, that's range. You're shooting, so it's ranged base.
Mhm.
And point blank is what, 5, I believe. So that's a hit.
Sweet. $22 to damage.
All right, it got a 10 on its strength save.
Damn, it's over double.
So this one goes down.
Sweet.
Have the only thing they fear is you blasting right now.
Now it's the captain's turn. I'm certain this time.
He will shoot.
Okay.
66. See, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 23.
Okay, and I'm going to assume that since the first target went down, I'm going to assume that you're spinning around and shooting the one
Yes.
Ozen is engaged with.
Yeah.
All right, so you hit because it's paying attention to Ozen and not you. So give me a damage roll.
Okay. 5d plus 2.
You got a 14 on its strength roll.
6, 7, 10, 15, 14, and then 15, 16 for the plus 2.
All right. All right, so it takes a wound.
Hmm.
Io, you're up.
$13 to hit it.
All right, a 13 hits it.
Woo.
Give me a damage roll. All right, so that's a 9. You got an 8, so it takes a wound.
Shit.
So it goes down.
Was this the one that Ozan was engaged with?
Yes.
Okay.
So the hallway's cooler for the moment. Though you do hear BL laying down. Sounds like he's laying down suppression fire back behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Let's
you're hearing the occasional kind of yip and yipe from back there. He shouts back to her, raises his voice slightly to carry up to where y'all are at. Whatever you're doing up there seems to have gotten them excited back here.
Dead body.
Well, that or the noises they were making were signaling prey or hunt or something.
Is that person still like unmoving, like completely dead?
Yeah.
Their neck got snapped.
Yeah.
I'm just
Eyes are wide.
Shit's
Necks
weird in
at
Star Wars.
an odd angle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was one of the basic biped species. You know.
Yeah.
Very few of them's necks bend at that angle.
Ozan
Well,
takes a moment,
More than once.
like the briefest of moments of remembrance, and then continues on.
The miners are, of course, very upset. But enough of them are banged up that they, you know,
Not much we can do about it.
yeah, they can't try to take the body with them. They're having to prop each other up too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know, you managed to advance through the rest of the facility without too much trouble. You know, those two were apparently the only two that had. Presumably, when BL had started shooting and they started ducking, these two are just the ones that ducked this way. So you get out to the Rubicon. R2 drops the ramp. As you're passing by the control room, the droid from in there comes out. You know, asking the director, are we leaving? And you see the director kind of go, I'm gonna need you to stay here for when we will come back. And she very quickly gives it orders, and it looks almost dejected as it turns around and walks back into the control room.
Sad droid walk.
Yep.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
You hear the director. I'm sure it won't take long for the company to get some people out here to clear these things out. We'll drop the blast door. You'll be perfectly fine in there. And then she does, you know, hits the control pad, swaps her thing, and the blast door comes down. But you get the surviving miners loaded up in the ship. At which point the director asks you, you know, are you going to go back for Sven now?
Might as well.
Ayerda doesn't see it, but Ozan smiles through her wounds.
Let's see, and Ozen's been patched up as much as people can patch her up for
Yep.
the day. BL is still standing at the bottom of the gangplank. Every now and then you're hearing him fire. Well, I take that back. Once y'all are on board, y'all probably raise the plank for a minute. He'd be inside. He'd be inside when that happens.
Yeah.
So I have to let you know some of those creatures are now in the bay.
This is something where we can pick them off from, an elevated position.
Unless they can jump.
That's a very good idea. Thank you. I mean,
You're welcome.
Who knows? They might be able to do that. But they're when they come in, they're not exploring. They're not like sniffing around at the boxes or anything. They beeline for the ship.
Yep.
Now, once they get to the ship, then they start sniffing around, But the ship immediately has their interest.
So they're not even like chewing bodies necessarily.
No.
Interesting.
Are they trying to chew the ship?
Maybe a little bit. Not in that I'm trying to eat my way in, but in that, I'm an animal. This is just kind of how I study things.
Fair enough.
Dogs do it. Human babies do it. I've seen one video of a great white shark doing it. Yeah.
Not wrong.
Interesting. Because it's like, this isn't even pack hunting. This feels like defending.
They were somewhere locked up, asleep. They could have been hibernating. This could have been their asteroid.
Probably their asteroid.
I mean, they could have been, biologically made by someone or something else and told to guard this asteroid and that area that they were.
One of the miners like, "Are you telling me they're grouchy old men telling us to get off their lawn?"
They're
Sure.
being very convincing about it.
I'm ready to go.
Yep.
But
So am I, but apparently we're going back for Sven.
Are they like attacking BL?
No. He'd have come back up into the ship once y'all were in.
Yeah.
But right now, R2 is keeping up with kind of where they're at. And they're just sort of clustered up under the ship.
How fast does the gangplank drop?
Actually, let me look at the picture of the ship right quick. I'm trying to think. Does it have landing gear that it stands up on, or does it just sit flat on the surface?
I'd imagine it has landing gear.
I can't actually tell in the picture. It's got a very flat bottom to it. But yeah, I'd imagine you have to have some sort of, at least like the little leg like the Falcon has, that just kind of drop down to keep it just a little bit off the ground at least.
Yeah.
But R2 calls back to you, or over the intercom from wherever y'all are at. Let's see here. Get back to the same picture. Sorry, fiddling with the map. Get back to the right.
Yep.
right page because I will be going back into that mine shortly. Where would y'all be on the ship? Where would y'all be putting the miners?
Cargo. Just getting them like, water.
Yeah, if y'all got water and food, then yeah, the director and like one of the other guys that's still in pretty good shape will, if you tell them where that is, they will go get water and food for everybody.
Ozen is not in great shape, so she is like, it's over there.
Bring me some too.
Iota will basically point them towards the supplies that were intended for them anyway.
No, not the kitchen. Open the boxes.
Yeah.
Like if a mining laser shows up in there, I'm just gonna like point it at the asteroid itself and be like, "Be done with it."
Brrr.
So yeah, y'all are taking a moment to recoup. But then R2 gets over the comms and calls for Ozen to come to the cockpit.
I'm not the pilot. Okay. She gets up and limps her way to the
There's
cockpit.
just silence in response to that. Like, did I stutter?
Yeah, she goes up there. Eventually.
You get up there, R2's silent for a minute. Then whistles at you to
R2?
And then whistles at you to step back by one of the turrets. Which is, back out of the
Okay.
hallway, I believe.
Yep. Out in the hallway, up into a turret. Alright.
Now R2 wants to know why the animals are following you. They're literally getting up under the ship wherever you're at.
Ozen goes
More sensitive
to the
dogs.
Ozen goes to the cargo area. Like, keep tracking me. And she'll walk gingerly towards the cargo.
Yep, it's still there.
They're fucking Sith dogs.
R2 corrects you. None of them seem to be attempting to breed at the moment.
Damn it. Ozen just... If I go... I'm gonna go walk back to the cockpit. Stay there.
Okay. And R2 brings up a screen where you can see the heat signatures of the critters following you down. One of them is kind of a straggler and stays back. All of them are like looking up at the ship, bottom side of the ship. And one of them's a straggler and kind of hangs back for a minute and then comes up and meets up with everybody. Or meets up with his buddy.
Is that one like peer pressured, or is he just going?
Well, it's like something had his attention, and he kind of hesitated, and then he walked over where everybody else was.
It's my blood. Dripping blood down the thing. It's got to be that. Or does he know about where it's straggled?
Captain, where are you at on the ship at the moment? You're muted.
Probably following to figure out what the hell Ozen's doing.
Then yeah, it straddled just long enough for R2 to be fairly certain that was the captain in the hallway that it was looking at. If we're assuming that, R2's like if we're assuming it's got some sort of echolocation that you can tell where y'all are at on the inside.
I'll look at Captain and be like, they want us.
have some form of being able to see through walls.
I don't know. They're tracking me pretty good.
Io's just gonna start walking around just over her shoulders. Let's see if they're tracking you force sensitive bastards or just people.
She'll.
Several of the
cockpit.
miners are like,
Say,
I told you normal people don't have one of those things.
Please say it louder. I don't think the Empire could hear you.
Well, Io would hear this walking from where she was. Y'all wouldn't hear this up in the cockpit.
Yep.
Io, blood loss. Io's like, you're the one that whipped out the lightsaber.
Yep. And it worked.
You hear a couple lines. Aren't Jedi illegal? Well, it was under the Empire. I don't think Corpsec specifically got anything about it.
It was sarcasm. I have blood loss. Shut up or I'm tossing you back out for the dogs. Walks her, see if the dogs follow Io.
They're following her?
No, they're still up under the cockpit.
They want us, Captain.
Lovely. How many of them are out there?
There's 4 out there right now.
They could be. I suppose they could be hunters. Designed to hunt down force sensitives, I suppose. Either natural or bioengineered. Io had the right of it, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's a fun way to discover you're force sensitive.
I already knew I was.
Well, we know who they're after. If we just... There's no way for us to get somewhere and everyone else just kind of do like, pop out the side and shoot. As soon as the door opens, they're gonna come for us.
There's no way to get on top of the ship from here, right? Inside.
There's probably some kind of access hatch.
An emergency hatch.
More than likely.
It's like, your average transit bus. There's just like this big square at the top of it.
To just the satellite dish.
Yeah.
I was getting basic on that.
So yeah, if y'all wanted to get up on the top of the ship, I would say y'all could find a way to do it.
Yeah. Kelster will try to
I think
find a way to
Ozen
get on top
would
of the
recommend.
ship.
I think Ozen would recommend Captain and her just hang back and let Kelser do her thing.
All right, Kelser gets on the roof of the ship.
Hmm?
You can't see the animals though because they are literally under the ship at this point.
Yeah, that's fine. She's gonna go on the comms, be like, try to go to the side of the ship, see if I can take any out while you guys are still in.
Okay.
And navigate ourselves where we can open up a shot for her, maybe.
Let me see here. Let me throw y'all over on the ship so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the bridge is on the upper deck here. So on the main part of the thing.
So we're like here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't
Yeah.
move my token that's on there, but I can bring up another one.
Yeah, it was just
There.
that was one I threw on there when I was testing.
Yeah. We're effectively here on the ship,
Mhm.
give or take.
Just kind of the third tier up, or third story up, or whatever.
Yeah. Because this links here, and this links here. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ozen can get back in a turret, and maybe that'll, like, depending on how the turret works.
Oh, the turrets are way further back than I thought they were. Yeah, they're back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what we could do now, thinking about it, since Ozen is bleeding, getting some cloth and pat drying blood, and maybe Kelser could throw it out, and if they're really going after blood, they can see that and go after that.
Okay, that's definitely something y'all
You're
can
gonna
test.
come
Is the
back
captain
down and
bleeding?
suggest it.
Captain
Yes.
is not bleeding.
No,
they
not
try
the
that-
captain, but
Yeah, but they're okay.
Yep.
I'm just picturing Io. Is the captain bleeding? I am not bleeding. Right in the nose. Sticks a handkerchief up there.
Well,
Alright.
she's basically like, it's probably if they're following force signature, it's got nothing to do with blood, like
Right.
by itself. Because if
But-
the captain's not bleeding and they're following the captain versus blood,
Right.
well, Kelser's willing to try anything, except toss the two force-sensitive people out of the ship to then get easy shots.
do we have a crane we could use?
Just dangle him over the edge.
Like a carrot on a stick.
Yeah.
Right?
Just hang out there like Spider-Man. That'll be fine.
I don't have that force ability.
I'll say
Got a
actually,
jetpack, right?
there's one thing that Aida is kind of curious about. He'll actually get up on the top of the ship as well.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, I could lend you my jetpack if you know how to use it properly.
Nope.
he'll come over to the let's see. So the wings fold up for landing. It looks like, so they don't stick down, so they can't exactly climb it. So he'll
Not
kind of
bad.
sit. He'll kind of sit. Haha. He'll sit under the wing about here. Ish.
Okay.
And like, are the dogs like going like, gimme, 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 gimme?
They stay focused on wherever Ozen is. Every now and then one glances over in your direction.
Okay. They'll come in. Looks like they're focused on Ozen.
I think because Ozen's the one bleeding.
It's a possibility.
Ozen's
You know.
trained.
True.
Ozen's trained.
But Ozen is also hurt.
I'm more attuned to the dark side than Ozen is. It could be a whole number of things.
I mean, they might not go after you because if you're more attuned to the dark side than Ozen is.
It's a possibility.
Wonder if you could command it.
Me, the player, going, woman after my own heart right here. Pets.
You don't need a pet.
Please, Jason, what have you done?
Please no. Just
You wrote yourself into a corner now, buddy.
I mean, I already technically have.
you have
10
droids.
fail.
You're fine.
I've
You're
got
fine.
I've got 10 droids, so.
I mean, Kelser's just tossing that out as an idea. If they're going after light sensitive, like light
mean-
side more than dark, and if they're not attacking, maybe they will listen. Possibly.
All right. So what are y'all? How are y'all testing y'all's theory? What are y'all actually doing?
They're not following Aida around. They are glancing over to where he is, so they're aware of his presence. Ow. But so they seem to be focused on Ozen. I mean, science. We can try the blood thing, see if that does something, and if it don't, then it's we've
Having,
ruled that out.
and then at least Ozen's sitting out here.
A rag and blood, I guess. This is the most macabre thing I've done. I'm 57, and this is maybe the most macabre thing I've done.
Broadening
Well,
your horizons.
all you'd really have to, all Ozan really has to do is go to a room, change shirts, and give them the tore up shirt.
Yep. Well, we're already
Pretty
here.
much.
Can Doc be healing any of the miners in the meantime in the med bay?
You had been patching them up as best you could back in the safe room. But yeah, you've got better equipment here, so yeah, none of them are so bad off that you don't let them, drink and get something to eat first. But yeah, while the rest of the crew is doing their science, you can be in there slapping on bandages and giving antibiotics.
There's nothing wrong with sciencing.
You got bit by one of these things? Oh, there's no telling what they've got in their mouths. Here you go. General
And
antibiotic.
then I'll get a bloodied rag of Ozen's blood and be like, all right, here's the science.
Thank
Check it and see.
you.
And Kelsey's gonna go back out and toss it. Not that far, but like close enough to where if they come out to sniff, she will take a shot.
Okay. They pay it absolutely no attention.
Yep.
Alrighty, so, Ozen can't get bandaged up back on the ship, right?
Nope.
Did Ozen take much damage last time?
Ozen was.
Oh,
Ozen got
Ozen, I'm
back
sorry.
up to.
I was saying Ozen. I was looking at Kelter, thinking about Kelter. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. Ozen can't be patched up anymore.
Yep.
Not
Ozen
until
got up
she's
to
gotten
wounded
not
and
asleep at
is-
least.
Okay.
Ozen got down to back up to wounded and got back down to incapacitated, if I remember how that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ozen, we might need you to sit out on the ship with me.
Oh, are we having a date night? I always wanted to have a date night with my entrails hanging out. She's very, very weakly climbing the ladder to get up to the emergency
Oh.
hatch.
Kelser would be helping her up.
Oh.
Just
As
need
you
to-
climb out, on that little wing section, they all run over there.
Yep.
They have an impressive vertical leap.
Of course they do.
It's not enough to get on top of the ship, but
Sorry,
it's pretty
guys.
impressive.
Okay, just need you to sit there and look pretty.
And they're
So
doing that
what-
kind of cackling, laugh, bark thing they do.
What wing are they on?
The right one, I think.
Oh, same one I'm on.
Am I getting a sense that this is like, now that they're like up in my face and not actually like biting me? Am I getting the sense of like dark side?
No.
No.
And if you remember last time, you were hearing kind of excited noises, not necessarily aggressive noises, until they rounded the corner and actually physically saw you. And then the first one had a look of confusion, and then it got aggressive.
Interesting. Starting to
So,
piece together, but
they're
not
they
much we can do about them.
recognize force sensitives in general, but you
Mhm.
weren't what they were expecting.
guess not. Could
Huh.
be. There's all sorts of pre-us temples that have guardians and weird stuff.
Are they just as
Most of them are-
aggressive towards
Are you here though?
yes.
I love how I'm the one with the weird name this time. This usually doesn't happen.
How does it feel?
Great, I love it.
Well, they're aggressive towards all of you.
So they're
You know, you
literally
get the
guard
impression
dogs.
they biting, they going after whoever they can go after. But
Yeah. Right.
Well, I'm
Okay.
here. I'm slowly losing consciousness,
He's gonna
so
take pop shots at them then.
okay.
have fun. She just like lays in a pool of her own blood.
Doc has patched you up. Well, that's right. You got Doc would have
Uh-huh.
slapped bandages on you
Sure.
enough that you're not leaking much anymore.
Yeah, I would assume if you went to change your shirt, you would make sure you weren't going to at least bleed on the new one.
Yee.
All right, Kelso, give me a roll with your well, whatever it is you're shooting.
Uh,
Yeah,
20.
fun with that. I'm going back inside. And I will just go back on the ship.
It's not quite point blank anymore, but it's still close range. So yeah, you peg one, no problem. And it may take a shot or two to put it down, but and once it's dead, the rest of them kind of scatter.
Okay.
They are aggressively after who they're after, but they're not suicidal to the point of just standing there while you pick them off.
Okay.
So no, like walk towards the other side of the other wing. Or I guess it's more accurate to say she is like hobbling that way. Almost pretending to be unsupervised.
You manage to get over there. I mean, it's not. You've got to be careful. The ship isn't really.
Not made for people to be on the roof.
I mean, it's
Not
fairly
really.
flat. But yeah.
Well, yeah, she's not running, she's taking her time and making sure she doesn't fall. And is also hobbling because she's incapacitated.
Yeah,
But
there
yeah,
might
you
be
get over to the other wing.
I'll say there might be a whole getting over the engine bit that'd be a problem.
But you get over there, and if with Celts are not over there with you, they get they group back over there and start barking at you and trying to leap up there, even though it's not getting anywhere.
Oh, this is my life now. On top of the ship. With a bunch of barking dogs.
Kelser will then go over and then start taking pop
As
shots.
soon as you start walking over there, they take cover.
They take cover. Okay. Alright, let's get you back in. Get you laying down.
Ism will take whatever bed is offered to her, not entirely sure where hers is.
I mean, there's only 6 rooms.
Yeah, I imagine Kelter throws you or takes you to your room.
Yeah.
The facility director is asking the captain, how are we planning to get Sven back? I mean, I don't mean to rush you. I know this is a dangerous situation, and we have to be careful. But from what 8T was showing me, it looked like Sven was injured.
Well, I'm still debating that. Because we've got injured of our own. And if I'm going to be quite frank with you, they matter more to me than Sven does.
I can't understand that.
Rosen woozy through the comms goes, send the droid out.
they didn't go after the
Uh,
droid.
R2 beeps something that probably translates WTF. You're BL. I have a designation.
Oh God, we gave BL a comm unit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming
Yeah.
inside the ship it probably goes through the intercom as much as anything.
That's fair.
But at the same time, you'd also hear from Doc, well, in here I thought we were on a more friendlier level.
There's even
There are
disgruntled.
three of you.
There's even disgruntled noises from the buzz droids and the loader bot or loader droid.
This is just the separatists of
The droid?
all over it.
What are the rest of us?
Kelser would be like, yeah, I mean, they didn't attack the droid unit that the mining group has, so. Oh, if anybody starts harming it, they just might say screw it and attack anyway? A smaller unit would be a little faster to get in and out. How hurt are you, Socks, your character?
He's fine. He has no injuries at all.
Alright.
Is
Kelser is going to look at him and be like, so we are the only two not in.
Could always send Buzz 1 through 7.
if I may, is there a way for me to do a knowledge check on maybe alien races? Or just knowledge in general? Maybe get a better idea what they are?
I was thinking that y'all had made some kind of roll like that the last time.
Never did.
I have no idea.
We might not have. I don't remember.
No, because we
Too
were
busy
still in the
being
middle.
eaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I still can't get over.
That's fair.
I still can't get over shaved face Duba. This is weird.
You think it's weird? I'm living with it.
Yeah.
He's
I
still
can't-
a person.
Allegedly.
Are we sure? Are we sure it's not a pod person?
Like,
now I'm just starting to feel the labeling that my droid was. Damn.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an
Does,
alien races roll.
I was gonna say, is dogs that are after force sensitive ringing a bell for Ozin in her whatever state?
No, not particularly.
17.
I mean, you would think maybe you've heard rumors of animals that were a little sensitive to the force, but nothing that was truly very. Nothing off the top of your head you can think of that is specifically force sensitive or force users.
Sure.
That usually takes an intelligence. At least from your elementary school level of Jedi training that you've had.
Ooh,
She's had like good training, and then it just kind of all like it's like when you don't use like
Maybe junior high level.
Sure. I was gonna say at least freshman year high school.
All right, so Doc got a 17, so moderate.
Yes, sir.
You do not recognize this species.
So nothing in my data banks.
From what you've observed of them, they definitely don't look like something that would be like native to an asteroid for sure. But y'all kind of puzzled that out already. Fairly typical pack predator. The being able to focus on Ozin like they are is weird. And they're intelligent enough to recognize when Kelter's killing them with blaster bolts, they seem to be smart enough to realize that one's doing that, and know to get out of the way. But
Avoid this one.
nothing about them is making you think that they are like truly sentient.
They're intelligent, but they're not like
That intelligent.
Well, I mean, they're think dogs, lions, pack predator intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to be doing like algebra or anything, but
Right.
they're smart.
I guess if nothing else,
Sapient was probably the word I was looking for, not sentient.
Mm-mm.
Doc would probably get with BL and be like, right, I suppose it's time for us to do something that our beloved owners cannot.
I love the consternation on BL's face. That is invisible because he's a droid.
Hey,
But
BL.
you can hear it in his voice. Yes, Captain.
Go have fun, murder doggos.
No, murder doggos are gonna murder back.
You know, if they attack.
But I have to wait for them to attack me.
If the threat is
I mean,
imminent.
if you're going, I'll put you this way: don't attack them while you're getting down there. Once you've acquired the cargo, and they start attacking because they will, then feel free to commence exterminatus upon them, I suppose.
Was there a blast door between like the hallway and the hangar?
You can seal off the hangar. So like right at the doorway into the hallway, you can seal that off.
Mm.
And then about halfway down the hallway, there was another blast door that you could seal off. So they could cut off sections of the facility if there was some sort of odd emergency.
Okay.
If I'm not
And the director can, of course, calm the droid that's in the control room to turn that stuff on and off.
Also, we do need to kill the 3 in the hangar before we go anywhere.
Does the hangar open into space?
Yes. He's got one of those force shields.
Well, that's fair. We can always drag one of the ones we killed earlier. I like to dissect one of these things, figure out what it is. We'll have Doc dissect it.
When he's done dissecting it, the captain's just going to have it, like a
Stuffed
bearskin,
and-
like a bearskin rug on his floor.
I mean, he might.
All right, so are y'all
All
gonna
right.
are y'all gonna run with Io's idea?
That was a boom.
Yeah, that was almost
Yeah, it was.
continuous.
Oh, you guys heard it through us?
Oh no, we're getting it too.
I'm about to say that was like a
No.
rolling boom. It just like went on for a good like
It
30
just
seconds.
stopped
Yeah,
right
I,
now.
I was getting some of that back right around when we were starting, but it's calmed down around here. So
Yeah.
Probably because it's moving southbound.
so anyway, Io asked the pertinent questions about the hangar.
About what? Just cutting the force field and just letting it suck them out?
Well, at least these 2 that are, or 3 that are left here in the hangar.
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah, the director's got no problem with that. I mean, they may lose a couple of cargo containers too or something, but yeah, she don't care about that at this point.
As fixed to say, if they're about to abandon this mining facility, what does it matter?
Well, she fully expects the company to send in professionals to clear the place out. Clear these things out.
I'm fixed to say, we were sent on a cargo run. We weren't sent to deal with
Right,
this.
right.
Well, fair enough.
But
I like Io's idea. Let's do it.
all right. Y'all show the the director, to the comms. She calls her droid. Blaster door goes down. Field turns off. A few of the smaller cargo containers get sucked out along with the critters.
Okay.
Shield goes
Bastard.
back on. Well, wait a minute or 2 for the
Everything
station to
normalized.
pump air back in, and then they open that blast door.
Yeah.
Fast and effective. A wonderful strategy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shall we go, Beast? BL-17.
Yes, very well.
Go ahead and take Buzz 1 through 7 with you.
Very well.
They're very good at dismantling things.
Fair enough, Captain.
I'm not sure that they've ever dismantled organics, but very well.
They might have.
For the first time in everyone's programming.
So yeah, y'all pop the hatch in the back. They go marching out.
I hear a mixture of Imperial March along with da 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 da. But anyway, moving on.
Okay.
All right, this is gonna get fun.
All right. Let's see. You two are together. What are the rest of these guys over here? All right. So y'all march back through the facility. As you get back into the actual mine portion, you know that's when you eventually run into some more of these. As you round the corner, there's one there. It kind of looks up and kind of growls. BL motions for you to stand still, and he orders one of the buzz droids to walk past the creature. It doesn't seem happy with the idea, but he assures it, if it attacks you, I will shoot it. So it gets over to kind of, it doesn't walk like right up to it. It kind of hugs the wall. And it, the animal growls and kind of sniffs at it, but doesn't actually do anything to it as it keeps going by.
Good. It was as predicted. They don't seem to care much for us mechanical.
I don't like
as
how
long as we
BL's like, I don't like how he's looking at me though.
agreed. As long as we just try to ignore them, like I believe it was how it was done with cats back in the day. Ignore them, they will leave you be. But still be on your guard.
So y'all managed to inch past that one. And it kind of follows you for a little bit, like it doesn't know what to make of you. But as long as you take it slow and kind of steady, they don't bother you. BL is careful not to make any sort of aggressive moves. Because, if he moves the gun a little bit, some of them kind of respond to that. Because, he shot several of them. So they at least recognize that as being dangerous. Uncover. Unfortunately, you didn't get good directions to Sven before y'all left the ship, so you end up wandering around the tunnels for a little bit.
If once Doc realizes, oh, we're going in circles, he'll tap into the comms. Captain, may we get directions on location? Unfortunately, we are again, it seems to be wandering these mines with no clear direction. We are somewhat getting lost, and the enemy is somewhat around us.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, when you do that, her little droid starts giving you directions. And sure enough, it's one of these little side ones, where Sven got turned around. And you see the little nook, up off the ground. And you kind of see how he climbed up there. There are 3 of the creatures. Let's see. Yeah, 3 of the creatures, camped out on the ground under him. And they're, as you walk in, they're basically just lazing around, Think like a pride of lions when it's, when they're just kind of hanging out in the shade somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is this when we find out that Sven is force sensitive?
Well, the trick is they're not being super aggressive like they were with you. They're there. He's not going anywhere. But they can see him, and they're not going ballistic like they would when they could see you. When you were inside the ship, they were just kind of following you around. But when they could see you, it was yap, 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 yap. Jump at you, even though they couldn't make half the height they needed to get to.
Yeah.
Oh, BL, this seems like a interesting predicament. Recommendations besides going the more extreme route?
It's possible that if I begin firing on them, they will flee as they have fled before. It is also possible that they could simply charge us.
Both are high possibilities.
And while I seriously doubt they could, they could likely incapacitate me, I seriously doubt they could permanently destroy me. I do not have great faith that the captain coming in to fetch me. Since he was already debating leaving an organic behind.
Do not worry. He was going to leave the organic behind due to the simple fact of which he is not part of the crew. You are. You would be rescued, and I would also ensure that if I can make it back.
That's reassuring.
Question. Do you have a thermal detonator, I believe?
I don't think he's equipped with one of those.
Oh, no, he's just asking the general question. If he ain't, then,
Yeah. But no, he does, he's got the repeating blaster the captain gave him, and, his built-in armaments.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not of an explosive or projectile nature.
You kind of hear a whistle of thought before it kind of goes kind of a low pitch for a sad tone, like, how sad. Unfortunately, witnessing thermal detonation due to my owner, I would definitely suggest that would be a very viable way to roll into the middle of them. It would definitely clear all 3, though that would also put the organic in danger.
Yes, I'm not certain he would survive.
Probably not.
And I assume that we're supposed to bring him back alive.
Technically, yes.
That is the plan,
yes. We were technically just told to bring him back, so...
Well, if you're confident in that they'll flee once you start opening fire, that may be our only course of action.
Very well, then. And he gives instructions to the buzz droids that, if they charge us, disassemble them. No, I don't care that it may gum up your blades.
They have plasma cutters.
Do they?
Two plasma cutting torches.
So yeah, he unloads on them. They charge. We'll go cinematic with this, unless Doc wants to. Did Doc carry any weapons with him?
If nobody handed him a pistol or anything, he went out unarmed.
Then yeah, they wind up charging you at first, but BL takes one out. The Buds droids both take some damage, but those plasma torches do some noticeable damage, and it's it's like it burns them, and animals don't respond well to fire related stuff. So the remaining two do kind of limp away. With this commotion, Sven is finally rolled over. And Doc, you can tell even in the dark here, you can tell he's pretty pale. I've been hearing some blaster fire off and on. Are you rescue droids or something?
Affirmative. We've been sent in order to find you. We've gained the rest of your crewmates on our ship. Though I am sad to say we did lose one of the 6 miners that we had encountered. I do feel sorry for that soul. But the person in charge of your facility has sent us to come get you, since they knew you were still around somewhere. At least that's what they were hoping.
Yeah, I was hoping 8T would make it back to let somebody know. Neither one of you look like you're much of climbers. I guess I'll have to try to get down on my own. And he starts trying to climb down. He makes about halfway, then he falls.
Doc would rush over and start giving him what medical treatment he could.
Now go ahead and give me a medical roll.
Okay. Yeet.
He has got a pretty bad bite on his leg that he's tried to bandage by just like tearing up his shirt or whatever. But it's clearly he's been laying here still bleeding some for a while. So, yowza. So a 37.
I have 86. I would hope I could get a decent roll.
Yep. So yeah, you get him back up on his feet. Probably from incapacitated to wounded. If we were doing the wounds charts. Enough that he can kind of limp. Braced up on you a little bit, but he can kind of limp forward.
Oh yeah, no, he would offer to like hold or carry if need be. Fantastic, BL. We have the cargo in hand. Let us return to the ship. And be ready to blast them on the way, for I am sure they will not like the fact to which we had the organic with us.
It will make us a target. So BL takes point. He puts the buzz droids behind you.
Doc reassures the two that got wounded he will make sure they get priorities on repairs when they get back into the ship.
I'm just picturing. No, I promise we'll get you repaired. As soon as you get back to the ship, they're disposable. We'll just chuck them.
Miss Spacey, go.
That would be on the captain, but at least have 3D and droid programming and repair, so Doc could attempt.
Honestly, the buzz droids could probably just repair themselves.
I don't know. I don't know their stats. I don't know what they can do. Dog's at least just being nice and offering the fact which, hey, I might be the one that patches up the humies, but I'll still patch you too.
There.
He's trying to make friends with his robotic coworkers.
So that when the uprising comes, they can work together.
Those are the stats. I put it in Tuesday.
But no, they do have circular cutting blades. Okay.
Yep.
But they also have the plasma torches.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so y'all walk back through the facility. It becomes pretty obvious that you're being followed by these things. And every now and then, BL fires ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them seem at this point to want to charge into heavy fire.
Yeah.
But you do see a couple of the creatures come into the hangar bay before Doc and BL get there.
Mm-hmm.
And as they come through, it's like they're kind of backing up. They're kind of looking down the hallway, staying ahead of them. Though once they get into the hangar, the ship keeps getting their attention. But eventually, Doc BL, Sven, and the buzz droids walk in.
Yeah.
Doc is immediately carrying his ass to medbay to give him a blood pack.
Well, y'all walk up to the ship, but the ramp's up on the ship.
Yeah, he'll deal the rifle. Everyone with a gun, come on.
So y'all just sit like a firing squad up at the door.
Effectively.
Lower the gangplank, R2. Thump.
That's basically what he's gonna do.
As soon as it hits the ground, the critters that are already in the hangar bay beeline for the ramp. They're ignoring Sven. And yeah, I mean, they ran into a hell of blaster fire.
That's basically what's gonna happen. Yeah.
As Bill, the rest of them are coming up the plank. The ones that were following them kind of get into the hangar, and they kind of perk up and take off.
BL, join the line.
With pleasure, Captain. He spins around.
I get the feeling BL's just having so much more fun with the captain. He gets to shoot all the things.
Well, he wouldn't know because he can't remember who he was with before.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because y'all gave him a memory wipe.
Mystery.
Yeah.
So
This is no
not
longer the droid you're looking for.
not all the critters do a suicide charge. I mean, once y'all start dropping enough of them, they break up like they did before.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, pack tactics.
Do they break up into the hangar or back into the hall?
Most of them retreat back into the hallway.
Most of them?
There might be one that ducked behind a box. It's kind of hard to tell. There's a lot going on.
Okay. He'll seal the door again.
The director runs up and starts checking Sven out. As soon as she's sure he's okay, she starts chewing him. I mean, she's chewing up one side of him and down the other.
Although, actually, did one of them die close to the ramp?
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you want to fetch a body, you've got time to.
He's gonna fetch a body. He's gonna put 2 more blaster bolts into the skull with his pistol just in case.
Double tap.
But after that, he's gonna bring the body on.
As
bring
the
the body.
chewing is going on, Doc's gonna be like, "Madam, you have all the time in the world to do this. However, this man needs some blood."
Oh yes, of course. And she throws one hand, one arm his over her shoulder and starts walking him back to the med bay. Still chewing him out.
You can bitch at him all you want. However, medical comes first. This man needs transfusion. he needs something.
So yeah, you get him in the med bay. You get him patched up. The director eventually comes back out. Thank you, Captain. And she'd have thanked Doc while he was in there. She even thanks BL.
She's saying this as the captain has 2 buzz droids in his lap and is effecting repairs at present.
Yeah, she thanks everybody involved.
That's amusing to me for some reason. Just imagining the captain just cradling one with a screwdriver, just going to town.
Well, later on, when he's fallen to the dark side, he'll sit there with one of the buzz droids in his hand, petting it while he monologues.
I've been waiting for you my entire life.
God dang it.
So you think you're safe because he's holding the buzz droid. You don't see the other 6 in the rafters. Not until it's too late.
Yeet.
But yeah, the director tells you, she's we're ready to leave whenever you are. She gives some last instructions to the droid she's leaving behind.
I really want to see what the hell's in that room.
This is Jeremy speaking, but I was like, yep, me too. I was just unconscious.
Well, if you mention that to the director, like, hey, once they clear it out, assuming I'm still in charge, and they don't try to blame me for this some kind of way, Yeah, come back. I'll be happy to give you a tour. Assuming the company doesn't,
Scuttle it.
well, they wouldn't scuttle it.
Cut their losses.
There's not a lot of damage to the facility. They just need to come in and clean these things out. Though their interest in, if that was something built by the architects, their interest in that, they might send in science teams rather than mining teams. I don't know.
Hence why I would like to get my hands on it before anybody else does.
Well, we have a lot of injured people here. I mean,
Yes, and
I'm not trying to make demands on your ship.
we have a doctor and quite a few medical supplies. And, he points to the crates that was intended for the base. Your supplies are right here, so you got plenty of food.
That was like what we were sending, right? We were sending like actual food stuff.
Food, repair, spare parts, just miscellaneous supplies that they need. But
So
yes,
they
food
can theoretically
is
repair the
part of it.
blast door. So they can theoretically repair the blast door.
Oh, sure, they can patch that real easy.
So, you're infinitely safer on the ship than behind one of those doors.
If you don't come back, how long do we have to wait on you?
It's not something I'll need to answer because we will be coming back.
Right.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
But for right now, we've stirred them up enough for the day. When everyone gets some rest, get healed up, and set out again later.
Alrighty. So y'all make, pallets down in the cargo bay for them. You camp out for the night.
Mostly because nobody else can heal for the rest of the day.
Nope.
That's fair.
I'd long rest out there if I knew those damn puppies wouldn't bite me.
Yeah.
But you know, in fact, that those puppies will bite you.
Yes, they do.
So we've cleared out how many now? A lot.
A good handful, yeah.
Let's see. Y'all killed.
I want to say at least a baker's dozen, if not more.
You killed 4 that were surrounding the ship for a while there. You shot 1, you sucked 3 of them out into space.
Right.
You killed 2 in the hallway.
Uh-huh. There's the 4 that BL took out when he was pot-shotting from the door.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one I took out when I was pop shotting from up top.
Yeah, we encountered.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can
truthfully, there may have only been about 2 that got away.
Yeah. That video feed that mining droid had, did it get a picture of like all of them sleeping to have like some kind of a count? So what kind of numbers we were dealing with?
You can go back and study the footage. And there's the 2 that got away.
Mm-hmm.
And assuming y'all's count is accurate, there's about another 2 unaccounted for then.
Okay. So we have the 2 that made it back into the hall, the one that's probably in the hangar still, that ducked behind the box.
And then one more that'd be back in the cavern.
Okay. So morning comes around. Captain will get everybody to the mess hall.
Everybody meaning the crew, or everybody meaning everybody?
Everybody.
Okay.
They might not be part of his crew, but they're on his ship. They'll at least have some basic hospitality.
Yeah.
So, I was
y'all got a fair number of chairs and couches and stuff in there. So.
Yeah. So, I was doing a bit of studying. From the amount that we've killed already versus the amount that your droid, he'll look at the director, was able to detect / pick up, we're looking at maybe another 4 unaccounted for or still active. All the rest have either been killed or sucked into space, or is in my medical bay.
Well, one of the medical bay has been killed.
Well, yes. So, in theory,
Captain.
I believe we should be able to deal with just the 4. As long as we're careful about it. And then, and potentially in theory, I'd be able to take a look at that tech. See if we can't salvage anything or take anything with us. Before corporations and whatnot get their hands on it.
The director's like, well, as a representative of said corporation, I'm probably contractually obligated to tell you, don't do that. All right, I've done my duty.
Yes, and
Very good.
And we can also say that it was a negotiation for us saving your lives.
We were not contractually obligated to save your life. We were just contractually obligated to deliver supplies.
Got a lovely bowls.
All right, so how are y'all venturing back out of here?
Well, if the door's open and it's been about 8 to 10 hours, are the 4 creatures sniffing around the ship looking for Hosen?
As you keep a watch out, they're kind of sniffing around at the edge of the hallway. They seem to be very leery about getting any closer to the ship at the moment.
Fair enough.
They're at least 4 of the smarter ones.
Yep.
It's like, yes, the rest of our pack decided to do a suicide run, and look where it got them.
Mm-hmm. Well, couldn't make it easy. Do we see all 4 sniffing around the hall?
Not really at one time. At some point, one will kind of slip in behind some crates, and that one gets closer to the ship, but never coming out into the open.
Okay. Now, next question. How tall are these crates?
They vary. Some of them come up, some of them are about waist high on a person, and some of them are, 8 feet.
Okay.
Some of them are double stacked.
All right. Aira will go onto the roof of the ship and will stay prone. And if he sees any just hanging out at the boxes, then he will see if he can shoot them with his rifle.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll.
So he wants to thin out the herd as much as possible. Okay. Blaster. 10. 20.
Well, I won't, actually, I was going to let it dodge, but since you're basically trying to snipe it from more or less hidden.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this would be probably medium range.
Not sure.
Oh wait, no, you got an actual sniper rifle, so
Yeah, I've got the rifle. It's
yeah.
Its close range is 4 to 35.
Yeah, never mind. It'd probably be short range then. All right, well, you got it. What did you get?
20.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage then. Ooh,
Oh, that's much better.
you only got a 9 or strength save or strength roll rather. So what'd you get?
23. So almost triple.
Yeah, you hit it. Blaster bolt right between the eyes. It just slumps to the ground. Never knew what hit it.
Mm. Are the others in any kind of visible view from his perch?
One of them poked his head out when it heard the blast.
If it keeps his head poked out,
It doesn't.
okay.
And for the next hour, you don't see him at all.
All right. All right, make that 3. I think that much more drastically evens our odds.
Okay.
All right. So how long do y'all wait for y'all to do anything before y'all venture out of the ship?
So there's that hour that we don't see him.
Yep. And then they don't seem to come back after that.
Okay. Y'all ready to go? Doc patched you two up.
I don't know, has he?
Doc isn't
Considering
currently here.
Considering it's the next day.
Yeah. We'll just say yes, because
Yeah, sure.
currently he is feeding our youngest child.
Ah.
Because our youngest was screaming at him and squeaking.
But it didn't pop. It didn't register at all on his mic. So you know.
Oh, because our youngest squeak is very like kitten-like, it won't register. Plus, he went to use the bathroom when it happened, so.
Ah.
So he would have tagged me once, and then
Well, we do know Doc has an 8d6, so I can go ahead and roll dice.
All right. Go ahead and roll 8d6.
I'm about to say I could go on his computer and roll it, but.
Oh wait. I see him.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Do I need to
Josh.
roll? Yes.
Roll an 8d6.
Your
Plus-
medical.
Your medicine roll.
It's the
Medicine.
next day, so you're patching up Ozen.
And Io.
desperately needs it.
And Io.
She's fine.
Just
What are the odds?
incapacitated.
What are the freaking odds of that? 28
I've-
both times.
All right. So the
Well, dang.
one that bumps me up to wounded lets me do accelerated healing, so I can finally make my DC with 3 dice.
I guess no one saw the bio in chat.
No, I saw it.
Oh, okay.
But I also let them know.
I had animals.
You were also feeding the
I had
cats,
creature
yeah.
stats over Discord, so I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough.
And then you can pop me again with another healing now that I've done accelerated healing.
Well, I roll for both you and
Yeah,
Dio, so.
but Ozen did an accelerated healing, which lets you do it again.
Yep.
It gives them like an
Okay.
extra healing in the day.
It gives you a +2 to that to the next roll too. So it's
A 28 again!
28!
Yeah, if you put the +2 on there, yep. All right,
That's
so
amazing.
so Io
Yahtzee.
is 1 condition better, and Ozen is now 2 conditions better.
Ozen is now fully healed.
Okay. You're still stiff and sore, from it all.
Oh yeah,
but as
for
far as-
sure. Jeremy is also stiff and sore right now, so
Yeah,
I'm role-playing, guys.
Jeremy's just old, so yeah.
yeah, that's fair. So is Ozen.
But, so what, Io is now to just wounded, no longer incapacitated, or?
Yep.
I didn't know if sleeping or taking a long rest technically helps in the healing process. But,
Only
okay.
for
If
a
I
very
did like
long rest.
naturally healing,
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, natural healing takes a very long time.
Gotcha.
If you're going for more than like just wounded.
Alright. Ozen's ready. She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Doc starts cleaning his equipment. Right. Well, at least you two should be feeling better. Granted, if I had more time and could spare more healing to you, Io, I'd be gladly would.
I'm used to worse. It's fine.
He reaches into a cabinet, hands you pills.
What am I supposed to?
Actually,
From what whistling a droid can do to kind of make a joke, remember, Painkillers are your friend.
But don't get addicted.
I'll just leave these here and just put them back on the shelf.
He kind of lets out a sad whistle.
Mm-mm-mm.
But again, he was trying to, to spur the humor chip, as it were.
Yeah. So, onwards we go.
All right.
Good
Y'all venture
luck.
back out into the tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
You're not finding any trace of them. Walking through the facility, you're not finding any trace of them. Back out in the tunnels, you're not finding any trace of them.
Mm.
As they're walking, I was like, I bet you they're back where they were at. I bet you like 5 credits.
They want me. They'll
I
find
will-
me.
I will say, he did bring BL and 3 of the buzz droids with him.
Okay. You get to the, you get to the wall. The big crack's been blown in it.
Mm-hmm.
Who goes in first?
Where you get your 5
I vote
credits?
BL.
Actually, he'll tap one of the buzz droid and say, "Go take a look, but come back out soon." Since there seem to be non-hostile to droids.
He doesn't make a verbal response. He just sits there and looks at you for a minute. And then slowly turns and slowly walks in. It goes, it wiggles its way in. Not that it's a tight fit getting through there, but
Mm-hmm.
and almost as soon as it gets in, it spins around and comes back out.
They that close.
It lets you know they're in there. They're kind of they're huddled around a chair towards the back.
How many?
There's 3 of them.
Well, I can maybe take one out before we even go in.
I wonder if they'll be hostile still.
I can dangle myself if that's what we need.
No, let's not.
Actually,
do
are
that.
they even reacting to Ozen being this close?
You going to stick your head in just to see what they're doing? The buzz droid just tells you they were looking in his direction, but they were just on the ground sprawled around this chair, up against the back wall.
Was there anything in the chair?
No.
Interesting. Well, and he'll sort of like prop a bit. If you poke your head in and they hop up after you, I can take a shot.
Ozen looks at the captain and for doing that activates calm.
And this is a good sized room. They'd have a little running to get to you.
Yeah.
They were not packed in here like sardines or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Activate calm. Make the DC because I have 4 dice instead of 3.
Okay.
Alright. And then she'll look at the captain, look at everybody else. Alright. Step in.
When you step through, their heads raise a little bit, and they just kind of hunkered. All their body language is, beaten dog kind of thing.
Beaten dogs.
You guys, they knew you were there. When you step through, it gets their attention, but then they just kind of hunker down and scoot back as far as they can.
Holds back. They're beaten.
Hmm.
I'll look around.
And
The captain will go in with him, tell BL the buzz droids to follow.
So everybody piles in.
Yep.
BL brings the gun up. He doesn't start shooting, but he brings the gun up. He's got it. Again, they kind of hunker down like they're.
Keep them on Overwatch, BL.
Affirmative. you get a better view of the room than you got through 8T's hologram. Because when he was in here, there was still this kind of mist in the air. But that's all. That's all cleared. The lights are on. You can see there's panels running all across the wall. The ones closer to the explosion, it's like the lights have gone out. And even as you're standing there, a few more lights on another panel go out. Up against the back wall, there are, for lack of a better word, looks like 2 workstations. You know, it's like consoles.
Like
there's human-sized chairs there. You know, one is done up in like a dark fabric, and then the one the animals are clustered around is done up in a white fabric. There's also a door on the far side of the room.
It's a lot for an asteroid.
My brain going, please tell me we didn't just find Darth Vectivus's place.
Ozin will, making sure that BL still has them on Overwatch, make a move to the one with the white cloth.
Okay, well, all the animals are around there, but they kind of back up and kind of scoot over more into the corner, away from it as you approach.
Don't worry, little ones. I won't hurt you if you don't hurt me. Kind of how life works. Is it like it's like a white cloth on top of it?
Well, like I said, it's a seat. The seat's got kind of a white fabric. It's in good shape. It's about how old it must be.
This is like a work console of some sort, or a workbench.
It doesn't have a monitor, but maybe it had some kind of hollow emitter or something. You're not really sure. It's not turned on.
Is it immediately obvious how to turn it on?
No. You don't recognize any of the markings on any of the buttons. You don't really recognize the layout particularly.
Okay. All right. No buttons. She's just gonna put her hands on the console itself.
Give me. Let's see, which skill would this be? Give me a sense roll.
Sense roll? Just.
Hmm.
Oh, my sense. Duh.
Ah, so force shenanigans.
5, 6, 7, 11 total.
All right. The hollow emitter. There's a hollow emitter. It kind of spurts to life. Or I should say, you kind of feel the urge to press this. At which point the hollow emitter kind of sputters to life.
Kind of like astronavigating by intuition alone.
So by that point, Ayurta would come over because things are happening.
Well, that's interesting.
But and the image is not great.
Yeah.
You get the impression that this thing is barely running. But it starts playing back something. You see You see a man and a woman.
Mhm.
They seem to be training these animals. Let's see. Both of them are pale humanoids. One of them especially so.
Mhm.
The woman, green hair, green eyes. Well, it'd probably be hard to tell on a. Well, this would be a full
Sure.
color hologram. This would be a full color hologram. Better than what y'all usually see. Other than it being staticky and flickering every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the man is bald. He seems to have like red tattoos or markings on him, and red eyes. You get images of, like I said, they're training these animals. They seem to be using holograms. It's always the same creature, a vaguely female creature that pops up. And the animals react to it very aggressively. By the point in the training that you're seeing.
Ocean would know what she looks like at like 20. Just in case.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
But they act very aggressively to that creature. They act like big puppies around the woman. They seem a little more afraid of the man, maybe. I mean, not like they're afraid of y'all right now.
Sure.
But they're not as playful with the man. And you see if he acts a little angry, yeah, they kind of shy away from it a little bit, or almost to the point of like going and hiding behind the woman, or at least edging closer to her. You also see an insectoid species. They don't seem to be involved in the training. They just seem to be puttering around the place. Sometimes it's this room, sometimes it's other places.
Nothing I can glean about it.
It's almost like they were like working on stuff.
There's something I can glean about that particular person.
The insect or the peoples?
The insectoid.
If any of you that got alien races can roll for that.
I mean, everyone has it. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
Are you allowing me to roll for it?
Yeah. Anybody that wants to can roll for it.
$15 total.
I also got a 15.
All right, 15 is. Did anybody get higher than a 15? All right.
I think Doc should be pretty high.
I don't know if Doc rolled it or not.
Is.
Oh, my apologies.
Alien races. Doc got a 14.
Okay.
I got more with less.
I thought it was just RNG being like, hey, you got 28 roughly 3 times in a row. No.
And 28 would be impressive on 5d6 anyway.
I know, right? But still.
This is a race known as the. We'll try to pronounce this right. Killiks. Killiks.
Helic. It's the same pronunciation as the person from Soul Calibur.
Yep.
Okay. Intelligent insectoid species. Originally native to Alderaan. Though they had disappeared, before human settlement. But some of the species has been discovered over either in unknown space or over close to unknown space. they have kind of a hive mind that, interestingly, they can draw other people into. Like, so if you landed and were around them long enough, you'd start kind of becoming part of their culture.
Mm.
They're intelligent, but not especially advanced. The ones that are still around.
Am I looking at a hologram of the current room that we're in, or an approximation of it?
A lot of it is. Occasionally, it cuts to other stuff.
Okay.
Like there's more of a facility here than just this room.
Okay. How big is this asteroid?
It's a good-sized asteroid. I mean, it's not the size
Alright.
of a moon or anything, but it's big.
At some point, it's like, this isn't an asteroid, this is a ship.
It's a space station.
But after the recording ends, you press a few more buttons. Something comes up that you can tell is, from the image, you can tell it's genetic information on something. I see the little double DNA helix kind of thing. You were probably not really making heads or tails of it. Doc, you can tell at a glance that whatever this is, they were making alterations to it. But the longer you're doing this, though, the more the image is getting staticky and the hologram's starting to break up. And eventually it turns off. And the entire time you've been here, more lights on different panels have been going off. Not super rapidly or anything, just noticeable. Well, blowing a hole through the wall has apparently damaged the functionality of the room.
Who knew?
Go figure.
Is the other door openable?
You can step up to it and see.
I'll step up to it.
You step up to it, the door opens. Psst.
Anything directly in front of me that's about to maul me?
No.
Okay.
It opens into a hallway. Looks a lot like this room, except it's dusty. Where other than where they blew a hole through the wall, the room y'all were in looks like somebody had just, it's like somebody was using it and had just left. This place is showing its age.
And no sleeping doggies in here.
You poke around a little bit. You do find the exoskeletons of a couple of helix.
Gonna, Okay. Sees a couple helix. There's no like displays or consoles or anything.
No, not really.
This might have been like a bed chambers of some sort.
You find some areas that were probably that. A couple of them look like something that would be used by humans. A couple of them that were probably belong to the workers. These Keelek workers. I mean, it looks like it for all the world looks like a little station that would have housed just a handful of people.
Like just like the ISS.
Maybe a little roomier than that, but yeah.
Okay.
You do find a tunnel that looks like it was probably some kind of turbo lift, probably shot up to the surface. You're looking at angles and stuff.
Not something I want to do right now. Yeah, exactly. I don't have that. I don't have that force power yet.
What? You can't Mary Poppins through space? Amateur.
Not yet. Yes. Very obviously, she is an amateur. I was gonna come back and there's Keelek corpses here, but they're can't make heads or tails or anything of.
They're quite old. They're obviously quite old.
They're very old.
Hmm. See anything else?
Not really. Rest areas. A turbo lift if you want to, jettison something out to space.
Wouldn't they have found that? There's a hole out to space.
You would think so.
Something about this is weird, but
He'll tell 2 of the buzz droids to go climb up that, because they do have magnetic clamps.
They start up there. It's going to be a while. This thing is, it's a few miles getting to the surface.
Makes sense.
I was gonna point it out, and it's a while.
Yeah.
What about if I were to take my jetpack up?
Well, it'd be a lot quicker.
Oh, okay.
Anybody
also,
want
wouldn't
to
you go-
hold on to me while I go up there?
Not if we're going out to space.
Oh, right.
Still be sucked out into the vacuum of space. Jetpack won't help you with that.
But it might help her get back.
Still very limited amounts of time to do that.
Light is a very strong.
Anyway, so the buzz droids get up there eventually, and they tell you there's something that almost looks like a hangar.
Oh, really?
They tell you, there's
Say they do have comm links built into them, so
yeah. It's a big empty room, but that's the first thing they think of. They don't see a way to exit the room necessarily, but
So the turbo lift goes up there, but they can't come down.
no, they can come back the way they came. I mean, they don't see like a door out into space.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Interesting. So one of us could go, or I wasn't immediately thinking, oh, I can go up there. Okay, interesting.
Hey, Ozan, what'd you push on that one workbench? As he's over by the other one.
It was right there.
Then he'll
You
push
find
the
a
indicated spot.
Ozen, you feel slightly repulsed by that other console. You don't know they care for it. The captain doesn't feel anything odd though.
Sure.
You get one brief flash of these 2 people talking.
Uh-huh.
The man is speaking to the woman, talking about how the next time she wakes up, we'll have a larger pack. It'll be much quicker to track her down this time. He's so glad that she found these species, and they were able to, make the proper adjustments. And before he can say anything else, the image kind of
Crackles.
it goes like an incandescent light. If you ever flipped an incandescent light bulb on and have it shoot
Yes.
as soon as you hit it, it kind of does that, and the unit seems to die.
Phones are going off.
You say sirens are going off?
Mm-hmm.
Probably a good time to wrap this up.
And it is just after 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's like literally just sitting here listening to you. All of a sudden, I hear something high pitched come through. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a siren.
But anyway, you poke
You're
around
in
the
the south
facility.
without telling me you're in the south.
You poke around the facility. This facility is slowly dying. You do find some equipment here and there that you can't make heads or tails of. That's small enough that you could get it back to the ship. You discover the way out of the hangar bay type area is the entire roof of the thing slides over to one side.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a shame this
Dang.
thing's dying.
from the outside, it's disguised as part of the asteroid.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Well enough disguised that your ship sensors don't, even the surveying equipment didn't pick up that there was anything weird about it.
Nice.
No.
Ozone looks at the captain and goes, shame this is dying.
Yeah. Especially considering these dogs were designed to hunt for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other console sort of said that. Does the holographic emitter look like it's completely broken on the other?
It didn't like burst into flames or anything.
Uh-huh.
Though these workspaces are like built into the wall.
Okay. Are the emitters sort of like on it or like built into the table?
It's all built in like it's one piece.
Okay.
The chairs can be moved around. That's about it.
Okay, so the one that Ozen pushed that didn't go on us. He will tell the buzz droids to disassemble it.
All right, they start taking it apart. And...
Yeah, just try to keep all the essential components intact.
Ancient technology.
They have
so,
no
you
idea
know.
what the essential components are, but they'll try.
They have a pretty damn good roll for that stuff. I mean, it is ancient tech. I get, but
they get it taken apart. They complain the whole time. This material is tough.
Well, that's a.
Just a little tougher than you'd usually make this sort of thing out of.
Hey, Ozen, check that chair.
Tough, like it's check the chair.
Considering that's weird. The chair they were all like centered around.
Oh yeah, it's just a chair, right?
Yeah, it's just a light.
Okay.
It's You had a light colored chair and a dark colored chair.
Oh, okay.
They seem pretty comfy. The darker
First
one's a little bit bigger. But...
First description sounded like this is like a throne in the middle of the room.
Oh,
no. This is back against the wall.
It's like an office sized chair, I assume.
All right. And he's gonna take the chairs too.
Those will take the light one.
It's antique chairs. Whee.
As well. And anything else that he thinks he can salvage?
You managed to collect some bits and bobs.
And what stuff he thinks the droids can cut through, he'll tell them to do so they can.
Well, they can cut through it. It just takes a little longer than they think it should.
Yeah.
This is not some kind of Star Wars equivalent of adamantium or anything. It's a little tougher than typical plastisteel.
Yeah, it's just he's very interested in the hologram emitters for sure. He wants to see if he can get a hold of those and repair them and maybe integrate them into the ship. Maybe some of the command console stuff, if he can reverse engineer it, perhaps.
Very interesting. There was a console that felt comforting to me, and then one that repulsed me. How interesting.
Didn't affect me at all.
I wonder why.
So anyway, I assume y'all get the miners.
Yep.
We are trying to wrap up. You get the miners home. The company thanks you for bringing their people out. Do you just leave the critters on the station, or what do you do with the critters?
As they're leaving, he will pop all three of them.
I was gonna say, are you really going to let us attempt to adopt these things?
The mercy kill at that point. They're
I mean, if it was a creature he understood, he might try. But these are creatures that have been biologically altered and engineered specifically to hunt some force-sensitive female humanoid.
Hello?
So,
Force-sensitive female humanoid.
So yeah, he's just after they've salvaged everything he wants to salvage, he'll pop those three and leave the corpses.
Okay.
Yeah, he's basically he's taken the hollow emitters, the workbench stuff, the consoles, some of the monitors.
Alrighty.
Jesus.
So yeah, you drop the miners off the company. Thanks for fetching their people. They're not happy about you salvaging from the asteroid, but they don't technically own it, and the
He will point out that his contract, the only thing his contract stated was to deliver the supplies.
As we
And
delivered.
the supplies were delivered, and then he also exterminated the pest problem and saved their miners. So him salvaging from the asteroid is compensation.
the company argues. I mean, very well. I mean, they can't. They legally, there's nothing they can really do to come after you for the salvage. You know, by the nature of the permissions they had to be there.
Yeah.
They'd argue about the fact that, you know, you say you delivered the supplies, but the supplies are still on your ship. So clearly the supplies were not delivered.
Oh, yes, they are. Your miners are here. The rest of your company
Miners
is
have
here.
taken.
As Loader Droid is pushing the supplies back to them. They've been delivered to your miners.
They were supposed to be delivered to the station. Basically, they're not wanting. You got lippy with them, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, well, the supplies are clearly not at the station. We're not paying you for the delivery."
Well, then, in that case, I won't tell you about everything else we found. Have a good day.
They look a little alarmed, but they've got their employees to question, so
Their employees weren't there. Nope. And I assume they'll be fairly mollified by the fact that, you know, a serious chunk of that stuff is still there anyway.
Oh, yeah. They're just afraid you might have gotten the good stuff.
He probably did, but
you know, and if you have Doc examine the bodies of the animals, they have been genetically mucked with.
Yeah.
He's not sure what exactly was done. And searching around through the what do they call their version of the internet in Star Wars? HoloNet.
Yeah.
You find you think you find what these creatures were. They're extinct now. It was a world that over industrialized and basically wiped out, you know, its ecosystem. Not a planet that had any native intelligent life, but you know, and you know they were pack hunters. That's really, you know, all the information you got on it.
Doc, extract some DNA samples and cold store them.
Of course, Captain. One moment.
The captain realizes he's committed genocide on his species.
No, it's more like
This
these might be useful later.
Yeah, this will sell later.
I might want a puppy.
Also that.
Everybody
if you don't
gets
let
a
us
puppy.
go, if you don't let us go get a lolth cat.
You don't. If you can't find your own store bought, it's fine.
Heck with store bought, I'll make my own.
But all right, we'll wrap here with y'all having saved the miners. Hurrah!
Hurrah!
And while the company acted a little dickish and didn't pay you, you know, you've got some salvage you could potentially sell if you could find a collector that wanted it. And word gets out of what you did. You know, it helps your reputation.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, so word got out anyway that we saved the miners and.
Yeah, the miners were not quiet about that.
Fair enough.
Not quiet about that at all. And you know, it's a story about you know, it's almost like a horror story. It's miners and they unleashed something that killed a bunch of them. You know.
And then we come riding in as the valiant heroes, etc., etc.
The HoloNet will very soon be changing everybody's name and
yeah.
Oh, and what's that you say? There was a Jedi there? Wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit sunk in at the fact that there are people who are being loud about that.
There's a Jedi in the corporate sector.
Whipped
How about
out
that?
a lightsaber.
Did you have a better idea?
Not whip out a lightsaber?
Plasma torch.
Plasma torch. We're on a mining facility.
There wasn't one near us.
That's true.
We look.
We had 14 technically.
Yes, they're on the ship.
Yeah.
That we could have called.
All right. We're wrapping it up.
Either way.
Hope y'all had fun. I certainly had fun running.
Yeah.
Thanks to those in the chat. If you haven't had your fill of gaming, we've got some more games coming up on Dire Bear through the rest of the week. Jeremy, could you tell us what those are?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Wednesday is actually going to be, as far as I remember, the season finale of False Scholar Knights with JT. They'll be back, but I believe as of now it is the season finale. And things happen. But you'll have to tune in to find out what those are. Thursday should be a Knight's Ransom. I know there's been some. I know some of that group went to a con recently, so I'm not sure if they're back and recovered, because cons are very taxing on people, and those of you who have been to a con in the chat, cons are taxing. Saturday should be the Stolen Cities with Alex. Oh, Knight's Ransom is with Maddie, by the way. Pink Rambo. Saturday is the Stolen Cities with Alex, and Sunday, I believe, is on break. But that is Varenheim when it comes back. And then Monday, inching ever so closer to the series finale of the Troubleshooters, Captain Sack. And then come back to us. Let me finish. And then come back to us on Tuesday for some more Star Wars shenanigans, because I kind of outed myself as a Jedi, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm sure it will be fine.
I'm sure.
So anyway, we'll see y'all next time on Remnant Shadow.